Are you trading on past glories? Recently I went to what used to be one of my favourite restaurants, and this time it was disappointing to say the least. I hadn't been for a couple of years, but I had fond memories of the food, the service, the atmosphere, and the good times that I'd had there in the past. I still had a good time this time as I went with my two sons, but the food, the service and the atmosphere were really just a thing of the past. See, this restaurant was very much trading on past glories, and it got me thinking, how, as salon owners, are you trading on past glories? This particular restaurant is now almost 17 years old, and when it first opened it was featured in many magazines for its interior design, but it hasn't had a refit since it opened, and what was groundbreaking design 17 years ago is now looking tired, dated and more than a bit worn out. The service was okay, but nothing exceptional. And when I try and think of what was wrong with it, it's actually hard to put my finger on, but it lacked any sparkle, it lacked any passion for what they were doing. In other words, they were really just going through the motions. And whereas 10 years ago the food was revolutionary in its creativity and quality, today it was simply okay, but it was certainly nothing exceptional. And as for the atmosphere, that intangible buzz that used to be there, that was now nowhere to be seen. The bar had gone, the music had gone with it. What once stimulated the senses and was an exciting and cool place was now nothing really special at all. So why does that happen? You see, there are obvious parallels with the hairdressing industry. Salons that burst onto the scene, full of energy and optimism and creativity, fueled by the passion and youth of the owner and the equally aspiring team of young go-getters who know that they're working somewhere special and they bring their A game to work every day. You see, to get to the top of anything is hard, but to stay there is even harder. You have to reinvent, and you have to constantly reinvest in salon design and people. But most of all, as the leader, you have to constantly be reinvesting in, and probably more importantly, challenging yourself and your team to keep evolving and to take it to the next level. For example, when Steve Jobs at Apple had a runaway success with the iPod, people thought he was crazy to include all the functionality of the iPod into the iPhone, as they knew that it would destroy the success of the iPod, which it did. But he knew that if he didn't reinvent and ultimately destroy it, that the competition would. You see, you can't stay on top forever. Whether you look at successful musicians like Prince or David Bowie or Madonna or Beyonce, or successful businesses like Apple or Amazon or Facebook, one of the things that they all have in common is that they're never afraid to constantly evolve and reinvent what they're all about. Because the alternative is that you gradually wither away and you start to lose relevance and eventually disappear. So ask yourself, are you as an individual or as a business, are you trading on past glories? And if the answer is yes, what are you going to do about it? So thank you for watching. Many of you know that I work one-to-one with many salon owners all over the world on a coaching basis. And if you think that might be something that's of interest to you, then please email me to Antony@growmysalonbusiness.com. And we can arrange a 15-minute complimentary phone call to discuss if coaching might be something that could work for you. So have a great week.